like us very much though. See, watch me trying to pet them.
No.
Money. It's what we live for. It's what we work for. And sometimes, it's what we die for. We work our asses off every single day just to hear those two sweet words at the end of the month. Salary credited. But what do we spend it on? Some people save money to buy their own house. Some people want that fancy car. Some want the new iPhone or the latest gadget to hit the market. Some just love to eat and drink and as a result, get a new gym membership. But if you ask me, no other experience gives me as much happiness or excitement or joy as traveling. But why? Why travel? Reason number one, my mother. My parents used to work for a government bank, which means a lot of transfers, which means a lot of moving around the country. I was born in Hyderabad, moved to Chennai, then moved to Guwahati, then back to Hyderabad for a short while, then to Mumbai, and then back to Chennai permanently. So we became travelers by necessity. And because we moved so much, and to make sure that me and my sister wouldn't just be left alone to adjust to a new place, my mom used to take us to as many trips nearby as she could, even if we didn't have much money for anything else. Reason number two, history and geography. In school, I used to be a very average student and a consistent failure in subjects like maths. But for some reason, I used to have a special liking towards history and geography. And I always scored more in these two subjects as compared to the others. Because if you think about it, it wasn't really like studies for me. I genuinely loved learning about different places and their culture and their history and the wars that they fought. During this point of time, one of my relatives introduced me to hobbies like collecting stamps and currencies of other countries, which I still do even today. And through the years, my love and curiosity to know more and more about the world has only kept increasing. Reason number three, traveling takes me out of my comfort zone. Apart from being a shy and introverted person, I also lead a very comfortable life at home with my family, with things like food and laundry and most of the other things just taken care of, like most Indian men. And I think even if living with our families is a wonderful thing about our culture, considering the age we're living in right now, we need to get a little more independent in terms of getting our own shit done. And when it comes to traveling, it's helped me in two different ways. Firstly, there are a lot of things that my friends and I have to figure out on our own, like sharing a room with complete strangers in a hostel, or wandering aimlessly until we get the cheapest street food, or figuring out and using the cheapest public transport when you don't even know the local language. You need to plan a lot and take care of a lot of things on your own. Secondly, traveling has made me do things that I would never do at home and even helped me conquer a few fears. For example, when we went to Bali, I went on a trek that started at midnight in complete darkness through a forest to hike up and reach the top of a volcano at sunrise. And I think all of these little experiences make life a little more richer and a little more exciting. Reason number four, traveling has helped me become more accepting of other people. Okay, how do I say this without getting arrested? Okay, India is the most diverse country in the world. We all know that. Our history is a different topic on its own, but today, we have 28 states, 9 union territories. We speak more than 120 major languages and 1.3 billion people celebrating thousands of festivals and enjoying different elements of our culture like food and sweets and so on and so forth. All of this is the good part. But when there are differences, there also tends to be a bad part. And there are few people in our country who are actually taking advantage of our differences and creating conflicts, trying to impose their own ideology saying that there should be only one language and one religion in this country. And the sad part is that instead of celebrating our differences like we always used to, a lot of us are buying into this concept that differences are bad. And traveling to different countries and especially across India itself, having conversations with people of different cultures, tasting their food and experiencing their hospitality has helped me become a lot more accepting, a little less judgmental, and quite honestly, a lot more peaceful and a lot less angry. You'll know what I'm talking about when you actually do this. Reason number 5, value for money. And by value for money, I don't mean cheap. Traveling can be expensive or it can be cheap as long as you plan really well. And I'm going to make a whole other video on how to plan a budget trip. But what I mean to say by value for money is whatever money you spend on traveling, it should add value to your life. Because for me, traveling is not about 5-star resorts or the fancy restaurants or shopping or getting that perfect picture for Instagram. Okay, it can be about all of those things, but for me, traveling is about huddling up with 6 of my friends under a single tent which is meant for 2 people while it's snowing outside. Not knowing what to do when I see snow for the first time.
I don't know what to do. I'm like...
Listening to the sounds of a guitar bounce on the walls of a 700-year-old cathedral. Or this amazing build-up to a bad ice cream. Watching my friends fulfill their fantasy of watching a Barcelona-Real Madrid match in Barcelona. Walking endlessly on streets without knowing where to go next. Walking at 3:30 a.m. to go to the river for no reason at all. Or this guy who introduces all of his horses to me.
उसका नाम तो पायल है, एक बंटी है वहाँ पे, एक बबली है और राजा है वहाँ पे.
Or watching my fiance almost getting ass kicked by an ass. It's about all those experiences and all those moments that never make it to Instagram. I think life is really short and my significance in this universe is even smaller. But there is just so much that came before me and will remain long after I'm gone. So while I'm here, I want to see as much as I can, collect as many experiences and memories as possible before I can leave.